Welcome back. Today's video, I have a Apple MacBook Air 13 with the M1 in it. I'm pretty excited about reviewing this notebook because one, I am a PC guy and I don't have many Apple products. I do have an iPad, but that is where it starts and stops. So this is going to be a PC guy reviewing a Mac. Let's roll. All right, so I've had this unit for the last few days, and I have to say, number one, aesthetically, this is impressive. Like, this unit is so nice. Number one, just even touching it, the smooth edges, the rounded, and it kind of just slides into your hand. I've never had a notebook that just felt so good to touch. So that is a win already out of the box. Super easy to get inside. iFixit actually did a teardown on this, so I am going to gracefully take that from them and show you what's inside. So this unit is actually on loan by my friend, and so I'm not going to actually open it up. So take a look at the shot here. Really what you can see in underneath the hood is no fan. That's right, this thing's completely silent. And even under load, you actually don't get to see that much on the temperatures. I only saw a peak temperature of about 35 degrees Celsius. So this thing's able to keep itself cool as well. So in terms of ports on this unit, well, it has two ports on the left-hand side. These are the two Thunderbolt ports. Both are charge capable. And then we have a combo headphone and mic port on the other side. That's it. It is pretty minimalistic in terms of that. Now, first things first, opening up this unit. One finger open, take a look. Away it goes. It's got like a little bit of a magnetic touch to it, just to keep it closed. But I have to say, it sounds good. Listen to this. Listen to the close. It's pretty nice. And then you're greeted with, of course, the screen here. It does, of course, have your ability just to log in, but what I love about this is the Touch ID. So you can just run your finger over it. Maybe not. Well, I guess I locked it up or something. What's going on? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So I think I locked it up. Well, that's unfortunate. Like, literally, it doesn't work anymore. You can't enter a password. Where's the Alt Control Delete? Ah! I'm pressing all the buttons. It's not working. All right, well, apparently it crashed during my video. So, let's try this again. Well, that's real world review for you, but that's what happens, I suppose. I don't know why. I haven't actually rebooted this unit since I think I got it, so maybe it just needed a reboot. When you turn on the unit, what I do like about it is how fast the Touch ID is. Like, it is instant. You put your finger on that and bam, you're in. So really, really fast to lock your system, which you can just do up here in the top right-hand corner. And with one swipe of the finger, you're in. So I really like the Touch ID. I think it even rivals Windows Hello. So I love to see that biometrics is integrated right into this notebook. Now, once you're on the desktop, the first thing that I noticed was actually how thick the bezels were. So it does have this nice glossy finish all the way through, but the bezels, they're actually pretty wide. Like, look at these. On the side, the top, even the chin has a little bit. So I just think you could be a little bit more tighter, get a little bit more screen real estate. I just feel like that was a bit of a miss. Now, take a look at this screen. This screen is impressive. So this is a 13.3 inch screen. The color gamut on this, P3. So what that means is it's 125% of the sRGB, which, I mean, these colors look so vibrant. They're, oh, I just love it. The resolution size on this is 2560 by 1600. It is only 60 hertz, so that is definitely one thing that I wish this had. Like the iPads have 120 hertz. I really wish this panel was 120 hertz. I think that's the one miss on the screen itself, but overall color accuracy, there's basically no backlight bleed. So this is a really, really great screen. So let's talk about the hinge. The hinge itself is really solid. It has a really nice solid feel when you're moving it. Like if you're trying to get the right spot of how you want your screen, it has a really good solid design on it. Now in terms of screen flex, well, this thing doesn't move. Like there's a little bit of flex, but overall this is very solid. Because of its unibody design, this thing is super sturdy, super strong. It's probably one of the strongest ones I've actually had my hands on. So really good to see on that front. So really in terms of fingerprints, this actually has a really good durable fingerprint resistant coating on it. So overall, I haven't had to clean it even once over the last 4 or 5 days here. So it's really good on that front as well. So in terms of the keyboard is backlit. It has a nice white backlit keyboard. All the keys come through really nice on that. The palm rest for your hands, really great. The right palm rest is actually quite good because it doesn't go too far over onto your touchpad. And that touchpad is massive. Take a look at this touchpad. It is huge. And so when I do my typing on this, while the keyboard is okay, I don't love it. And I think it's because the keys are just a little too soft for my liking. It's a good keyboard, yeah, but I just don't love it. So you can definitely get by with this unit. And to be frank, this is Apple's lowest end product. So from that perspective, I wouldn't expect that much, but geez, it is still really, really good. In terms of the touchpad itself, well, you get this huge space to work on. Now, the one thing I have to say about the touchpad, while it's huge, I have a hard time getting used to the right click feature that's embedded into the Mac OS. So it is a 2-finger press and then you get your right click menu. I'm having a hard time adjusting to it. I'm sure over some time you'll be able to get adjusted, but that's a really small item at the end of the day. All right, so in terms of weight on this unit, so this comes in at an airy 2.8 pounds. It is super light, one of the lightest notebooks I've had the pleasure to touch and use. So for those that are on the go, this is a great notebook for you. So speakers on this unit. Most PC laptops out there are awful. Like, I mean, they're terrible. But Apple, to their core, is about music. And so I was optimistic. But let's take a listen and let me know what you think. So overall, I am actually blown away. I'm blown away by the fact that this is a 13-inch notebook and the speakers on this they rival and outperform most laptop speakers out there. It's not the best. I'm not saying it's the best, but overall, I mean, this is at least a notch higher than most of the gaming laptops that are out there. So I have 2 thumbs up on the speakers for this one, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So in terms of battery on this unit, well, this comes with a 49.9 watt-hour battery. Apple does claim you get up to 15 hours of wireless web activity on the unit and up to 18 hours of Apple TV app movie playback. Now, in practice for me, I was seeing up to about 11 hours, and that was with a couple demanding apps. I was doing some benchmarking on it, so actually I think it's pretty realistic to expect almost up to 15 hours, which is pretty impressive. Like, I had been using this what I would say 3-4 days on one charge, and it was able to hold up just fine. So that is really, really impressive. The M1 chip inside was doing a great job. So let's talk about that M1 chip. It has something pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm gonna put on some music again, and I just want you to watch what happens. So this is now closed. The computer is off. There's no more power going to this unit. And now I'm going to open it back up. I just want you to let that sink in for a second, because that is amazing. I mean, this unit has turned off completely, and it has basically an instant on feature, and that's really a function of ARM-based processors. So the M1 processor, Apple's own silicon, is an ARM-based processor. So what it has is 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, along with 7 GPU cores. So what does that all mean? Well, what it means is this thing's able to perform at the end of the day. And I'll get into some benchmarks a little bit later, but being that it's an ARM processor, it's similar to kind of how an iPad works, right? You click it off, it's off. And that battery can last for days on end. This is very similar from that perspective. However, you get a full Mac OS that you're running on. That feature alone makes this, in my opinion, worth its weight in gold. And it doesn't weigh that much. So the fact that you can just turn that on, get great sound, and the stereo. I didn't even talk about the stereo. I'm just too excited. But you can actually flip this off, and my goodness, it's off. It's completely off. Blows my mind. So that is a cool feature. And the fact that the music that comes out of both speakers on either side, left and the right channels, like, it is very immersive. And so one of the most immersive speaker setups with only having 2 speakers in here. So anyways, great, great notebook. If you're going to school, you need something, this is very economically priced in my opinion, compared to most out there. And I think it's not gonna lead you astray. All right, so in terms of benchmarks, so Geekbench, well, this is impressive. We have the single core come in at 1719 and the multi-core come at 7537. That beats out pretty much everything that I've tested so far, and including the Ryzen 4750, and getting real close to that Intel 10875H. Now, when we look at OpenCL came at 16,405. Of course, the MSI GE75 Raider, that is actually using a discrete GPU. So of course, 102,000, it's out of the stratosphere. So comparing that to the Ryzen 4750G, that does have its own Vega cores inside of it. So it is able to outperform even that. Now we'll see how much better that becomes when the Ryzen 5000 series mobile come out this next year in 2021. But for right now, the M1 has really, really taken the cake here. I am very impressed. So let's now pivot over to Cinebench R23. That's the latest Cinebench version. This came in at 7507. This was the slowest multi-core score out of the bunch that I have here, even slower than the i7 8700K at 4.7 gigahertz. Now, you have to keep in mind this is a notebook. So that's a full desktop processor, and it's getting pretty close to that scoring potential. The M1 processor here is a generational change. And what I mean by that is Apple is going out and making their own silicon, basically making a new competitor in the processor space. While it is not x86 like you find in desktops and notebooks in the traditional sense, it is ARM-based. But this is their Gen 1 iteration. I can only imagine as they continue to develop and make this stronger and stronger, this is going to make a world of difference. I am so impressed by their Gen 1 iteration here. And so one of the things to note on M1 is that because it's ARM, Apple does what they do, a translation between Intel or x86 processors back to ARM based. So it's called the Rosetta translator. And for most Intel based applications that haven't been converted yet to the ARM based architecture, they do run a little bit slower. And so you're going to have varying success. But any of the native apps actually work very well, if not outperform their Intel or x86 counterparts. So that is something to keep in mind. The other thing about this is it is not upgradable. So if you are going to purchase this unit, make sure that you are purchasing it with the specs that you're going to keep it for a few years. So be aware of the SSD that you're going to be buying, as well as the memory. Both items are soldered onto the main logic board, so you cannot replace them. So I would recommend getting the spec that you think you're going to need maybe a year or two out from then. That all being said, I would still recommend this. I think this is a great notebook overall. The fact that you get great battery life, the love I have for being able to shut the notebook and simply open it up and it's right there waiting for you is brilliant. I think I wish I could have the same in a Windows-based laptop. This is by far the best Apple product I've ever tested. Yes, I know it's the only one I've tested, but in all seriousness, this is a great showing. I think if you are in the market for a notebook, you should seriously consider the MacBook Air. Well, that wraps up the review on the MacBook Air. I hope you liked the video. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Special shout out to my friend Keith for actually loaning me this unit. I really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun to use. And if you are a PC person, which one would you choose? Would you consider something like that? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like this content, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That helps me out a lot. And until next time, bye for now.